Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into something truly exciting, the top 4 most valuable Canadian 1-cent coins that could be sitting right in your change jar or old coin collection. These tiny copper coins may seem ordinary, but some of them are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars to collectors. We'll talk about their history, rarity, and market value, and show you exactly what to look for to see if you have one of these valuable pennies hiding at home. So, grab your coins, get comfortable, and let's uncover which Canadian 1-cent coins are truly worth big money. Let's get started. Top 1. The 1990 Canadian 1-cent coin was minted by the Royal Canadian Mint in Ottawa and struck in large quantities. Around 1,098,100,000 pieces were produced. However, quantity doesn't always tell the full story. Most of these coins circulated heavily, losing their shine and developing scratches, wear and oxidation. Finding one today in uncirculated or mint condition, preserved exactly as it left the mint, is quite rare. These pristine coins are often tucked away in original mint sets or were carefully stored by collectors who knew the importance of preserving coinage history for future generations. Let's talk about the design, which is one of the most recognizable in Canadian coinage. The obverse, or front side, of the 1990 penny features the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold McKim, which was used from 1965 until 1989, and then updated in 1990 to a new effigy by Dora de Pettery Hunt. This new portrait marked a significant design transition, showing the Queen wearing a necklace and a more mature appearance. This makes the 1990 penny particularly special because it was the first year to feature this updated Canadian portrait, symbolizing a new era in the monarchy's coinage representation. On the reverse side, designed by George Kruger Gray, is the beloved 2 maple leaf twig design, an enduring symbol of Canada's identity, unity, and natural beauty. This design had been used since 1937 and continued all the way until the final 2012 penny. The 1990 coin therefore bridges Canada's long history of penny production with modern minting standards, combining traditional symbolism with improved metal compositions and sharper details. The engraving precision on an uncirculated 1990 coin is truly stunning, with every vein of the maple leaf crisp and clear under magnification. In terms of metal composition, the 1990 Canadian 1-cent coin is made of 98% copper, 1.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, weighing 2.5 grams with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. This traditional bronze alloy gives it that rich reddish hue so admired by collectors. However, environmental factors often dull the surface over time. Uncirculated examples retain a gorgeous reddish luster, sometimes referred to as red or red-brown in coin grading terms. Coins with full mint luster and no handling marks are the ones that bring the highest prices at auctions and collector markets. Now let's talk about value and pricing, what every collector really wants to know. As of recent market trends, a 1990 Canadian 1-cent coin in circulated condition is worth only its face value, just 1 cent. However, uncirculated or mint-state examples tell a very different story. Depending on their grade and luster, these coins can fetch anywhere from $2 to $10 Canadian for a bright red specimen, and in some cases even $20 to $30 Canadian if graded MS66 or higher by professional grading services like ICCS or PCGS. Proof-like examples from official mint sets can also bring a premium because of their mirror-like surfaces. Collectors are particularly drawn to this coin not just for its condition, but for its numismatic significance. As mentioned earlier, 1990 marked the introduction of the new Queen Elizabeth II effigy, which makes it an important transitional year in Canadian coinage history. Many coin enthusiasts view this as the beginning of the modern penny era, making high-grade specimens of 1990 coins a staple in complete Canadian cent collections. For young collectors, it's also one of the easiest years to find in better condition, making it a perfect starter piece with long-term appreciation potential. Another aspect that adds charm to the 1990 penny is the emotional connection Canadians have with the 1-cent coin. Even though Canada stopped producing them in 2012, the penny remains a nostalgic reminder of childhood piggy banks, candy store purchases, and everyday life. The 1990 coin embodies that legacy, representing the final decades when pennies freely circulated through the hands of millions. That sentimental factor adds intangible value, especially for Canadians looking to preserve a piece of national history before it completely disappears from circulation. When you're examining your own 1990 Canadian penny, pay attention to details like the mint luster, strike quality, and toning. Avoid cleaning the coin as that can dramatically reduce its value. If you suspect your coin is in mint state, it might be worth having it graded professionally or stored in an airtight coin holder to preserve its shine. Collectors often look for coins that have sharp details, full red color, and no spots or fingerprints. These features help determine whether a coin deserves a high grade and a higher dollar value. Before we wrap up, if you enjoy learning about rare and valuable Canadian coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive into coin history and value. Drop a comment below and tell us, have you ever found a 1990 Canadian penny in your change or collection? You might just be holding a tiny treasure from Canada's rich monetary past. Stay tuned for more episodes where we uncover the secrets, stories, and surprising values hidden inside the smallest pieces of Canadian currency. Until next time, keep collecting and keep your coins shining. Next up. Top 2. The Canadian 1-cent coin of 1995 features the iconic maple leaf twig design created by G. E. Kruger Gray, first introduced back in 1937 during King George VI's reign. This timeless image of two maple leaves on a single twig became one of Canada's most recognized coin designs, symbolizing national pride, strength, and unity. On the obverse side, you'll find the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Dora de Pettery Hunt, which was introduced in 1990. This portrait shows a more mature and dignified queen, reflecting her continued role as a steadfast monarch during a time of great change in Canada and the Commonwealth. The 1995 penny was struck by the Royal Canadian Mint in Ottawa using a copper-plated zinc composition. Earlier versions of Canadian cents were made of bronze or pure copper, but by the 1990s, copper became too expensive, leading to this cost-effective alloy. Each coin weighs 2.5 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a plain edge. Even though millions were produced for circulation, the quality and condition of individual coins today determine their collectible value. Those with lustrous surfaces and minimal wear are considered far more desirable than their worn, circulated counterparts. In 1995, Canada was already seeing the penny's purchasing power decline significantly. Inflation had reduced its practical use, yet the government continued to mint these coins by the hundreds of millions. For many Canadians, the penny was a symbol of nostalgia and heritage rather than monetary value. Interestingly, the Royal Canadian Mint did not issue any special varieties or errors in 1995 that are widely known today, but occasionally collectors do find misstruck examples, off-center strikes, or die cracks that can greatly increase their value in the collector's market. Now let's talk about value, because that's what every collector wants to know. In old or heavily circulated condition, a 1995 Canadian 1-cent coin is typically worth only its face value, around 0 Canadian dollars and 1 cent. However, in fine to very fine condition, collectors might pay 5 cents to 10 cents CAD just to fill a slot in a year set. For uncirculated or mint state, MS60 to MS65, examples, the price can rise to around $1 to 3 Canadian dollars, depending on the luster, strike, and overall eye appeal. Coins preserved in brilliant uncirculated rolls or proof-like sets could fetch slightly higher premiums, especially among those building complete year collections. For international collectors, especially those in the United States, the UK, or Australia, Canadian 1-cent coins from the 1990s hold special interest because they represent a period of transition in North American coinage. The 1995 penny is part of that late-era design series that was later replaced by modern materials and eventually discontinued in 2012, when the Royal Canadian Mint officially stopped producing pennies. This makes coins from the 1990s, including the 1995 issue, part of the last generation of circulating Canadian cents, giving them a nostalgic and historical charm. Let's not forget about the cultural and emotional value of the penny. For decades, Canadian children collected them in jars, schools used them for math lessons, and charities ran penny drives to raise funds. The 1995 penny might not make you rich, but it connects you to a simpler era. An era before tap payments, digital wallets, and cashless stores. Holding one in your hand today is like holding a tiny copper time capsule filled with memories of daily life in 1990s Canada. When examining your 1995 Canadian 1-cent coin, always check for unique features that can raise its value, things like strong mint luster, a well-centered strike, no scratches or discoloration, and sharp details on both the Queen's portrait and the maple leaves. You can even get your coin graded by professional services like ICCS or PCGS, which helps verify its authenticity and condition. A certified high-grade coin can command higher prices at auctions or online marketplaces like eBay and Heritage Auctions. If you're looking to start a Canadian coin collection, the 1995 penny is a great entry point. It's affordable, easy to find, and historically rich. You can build a Maple Leaf series collection from 1937 to 2012, or focus on Queen Elizabeth II portrait variations. There's endless potential. Over time, even low-value coins can become treasured keepsakes, especially when tied to a story or era. So don't underestimate that little 1995 penny in your change jar. It's a small coin with a big story. And that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1995 Canadian 1-cent coin, a symbol of tradition, craftsmanship, and Canadian pride. If you enjoyed learning about this historical penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another episode about rare and valuable coins. Comment below and tell us, do you still have Canadian pennies lying around your house? Maybe you've got a rare one without even realizing it. Next up. Top 3. The Canadian 1-cent coin has a long and fascinating history dating back to 1858, but the 1998 version belongs to the modern era of the series, an era defined by the Royal Canadian Mint's shift to cost-effective materials and the use of copper-plated zinc planchets. By 1998, the Mint had already transitioned from the earlier bronze composition to a lighter, cheaper alloy, marking a key turning point in the evolution of the Canadian penny. This shift represented both a technological and economic milestone, as Canada prepared for a future where the penny's production cost was nearly equal to its face value. The design of the 1998 Canadian 1-cent coin remains timeless, featuring the famous twin maple leaves on a twig, originally designed by G. E. Kruger Gray and first introduced in 1937. The obverse side, the one showing Queen Elizabeth II, displays the fourth portrait of Her Majesty, created by artist Dora de Pettery Hunt in 1990. This portrait shows a mature and dignified queen, reflecting her role as Canada's head of state during a time of modern transformation. The combination of traditional design and updated portraiture gives the 1998 penny both historical continuity and modern identity. When we talk about the technical details, the 1998 penny was struck with a copper-plated zinc core, weighing 2.25 grams, with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a plain edge. The coin has a magnetic quality due to its zinc content, making it easy to distinguish from earlier bronze issues. These physical traits make the 1998 coin part of Canada's late-century minting innovations, and for coin enthusiasts, these specifications often help identify whether a coin belongs to the pre- or post-transition series. In 1998, the Royal Canadian Mint produced over 1 billion pennies, a testament to how widely circulated these coins were during that era. The high mintage number means the coin is not considered rare, but it still holds nostalgic and educational value. Millions of Canadians handled these pennies in daily transactions, from buying gum at the corner store to receiving change from coffee shops. It was an everyday companion that quietly marked the end of a century. Because of such mass circulation, finding one in good condition is fairly common, but that doesn't make it worthless. Condition, mint luster, and special varieties can still increase its value. Now let's talk about the condition, because that's where things get interesting. A 1998 Canadian 1-cent coin in good condition generally shows light wear on the maple leaves and some fading of Queen Elizabeth's portrait. While it's not uncirculated, collectors still appreciate these coins for completing date sets or as educational specimens. Grading levels range from good G to uncirculated MS, and the better the condition, the higher the potential value. Some coins with exceptional shine, sharp edges, or error markings can be worth more than their humble 1-cent face value. In today's collector market, a 1998 Canadian 1-cent coin in good condition is typically worth between 2 to 10 cents USD, depending on eye appeal and demand. In uncirculated or mint condition, the value can rise to 50 cents or even $1, especially if certified by grading agencies like PCGS or NGC. While these aren't life-changing amounts, it's the story behind the coin, its design, history, and emotional nostalgia that keeps collectors interested. Rare mint errors, such as double strikes or off-center designs, can also dramatically raise the coin's worth into the $5 to $20 range. Although the penny was discontinued in 2012, coins like the 1998 version remain cherished symbols of Canadian identity. For older generations, these coins evoke memories of simpler times, while for younger collectors, they serve as affordable gateways into numismatics. The penny may no longer circulate, but it continues to live on through collectors' albums, online auctions, and educational collections. The 1998 penny captures a moment when Canada stood at the threshold of a new millennium, a tiny piece of copper that quietly witnessed the nation's progress. If you're planning to start collecting Canadian pennies, the 1998 coin is an excellent entry point. Start by looking for coins with sharp details, no scratches, and minimal discoloration. You can find them in old jars, estate sales, or even family coin boxes. Use a magnifying glass to inspect mint marks, rim condition, and any unusual features. Always store your coins in protective holders or flips to prevent oxidation. And remember, even if your coin isn't worth much today, coin values can increase over time as supply decreases and collector interest grows. And that wraps up our deep dive into the 1998 Canadian 1-cent coin, a small but mighty relic of Canada's monetary history. If you enjoyed learning about this little copper gem and want to discover more stories about rare, old, and valuable Canadian coins, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Comment below if you've got a 1998 penny in your collection, and tell us what condition it's in. You might just be sitting on a piece of Canadian history worth more than you think. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep those coins shining bright. Next up. Top 4. The 1999 Canadian 1-cent coin was part of the last few years of penny production before the Royal Canadian Mint began preparing for the Millennium Series. The obverse side of the coin features the iconic effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Dora de Pettery Hunt, showing Her Majesty facing right and wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This portrait was used on Canadian coins from 1990 to 2003. On the reverse side, you'll see the timeless maple leaf twig, designed by G. E. Kruger Gray, a design that first appeared on the penny in 1937. This beautiful and simple design symbolizes Canada's natural beauty and national pride. When it comes to composition, the 1999 penny was made primarily from 98.4% steel, 1.5% copper plating, and a touch of nickel, differing from older bronze pennies which contained more copper. This change in metal composition was part of a cost-cutting move by the Royal Canadian Mint as copper prices rose. The coin weighs approximately 2.25 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Its magnetic nature is an easy way to identify this modern era of Canadian pennies. The shift from bronze to copper-plated steel marked a new era of Canadian cent production, blending traditional design with modern materials. In terms of mintage, an impressive 1.09 billion 1-cent coins were struck in 1999 at the Winnipeg Mint. Because of this high production number, The coin itself isn't particularly rare, at least not yet. However, condition and errors make a huge difference. Coins in circulation show typical wear, but coins in very fine condition (VF) retain much of their detail, with the queen's hairlines visible and the maple leaves clearly outlined. While not uncirculated, a VF condition coin still carries collector appeal, especially for people assembling a year-by-year Canadian penny collection. Now let's talk about value. In very fine condition, the 1999 Canadian 1-cent coin usually has a value of 5 cents to 10 cents USD, depending on the market and collector interest. However, some era varieties, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned designs, can fetch anywhere from $5 to $50 or more if authenticated by grading services like PCGS or NGC. While the regular coin isn't rare, its value can grow over time as fewer examples remain in pristine condition, and as the nostalgic appeal for pre-2012 pennies continues to rise. Historically, the Canadian penny has always been more than just a small denomination. The first 1-cent coin was introduced in 1858, featuring Queen Victoria. Over the decades, the penny has reflected Canada's changing identity, from the reigns of Victoria, Edward VII, George V, and George VI, all the way to Queen Elizabeth II. The 1999 penny, sitting near the end of the penny's long journey, represents a bridge between the traditional and modern coinage eras. It was one of the last coins to feature the copper-colored look Canadians had grown up with. An interesting fact about the 1999 penny is its cultural significance during Canada's transition into the new millennium. Many Canadians recall these coins as part of their everyday life before debit cards became common. As Canada prepared for the millennium coins in 2000, the 1999 issue quietly marked the end of an era. This makes it not only a collectible item but also a piece of nostalgia for millions who remember when the penny jingled in their pockets or piggy banks. For collectors, the 1999 Canadian 1-cent coin is a great entry-level collectible. It's affordable, easy to find, and perfect for building a complete 20th-century Canadian coin collection. If you're just starting out, aim to find a coin in very fine or better condition with no major scratches, corrosion, or discoloration. Storing it in a protective 2x2 coin holder or a coin album will help maintain its shine and value over the years. Remember, even common coins can become special with care and proper preservation. If you're interested in selling or buying, you can check online platforms like eBay, Etsy, or Nemista, where collectors often trade Canadian coins. While the 1999 penny might not make you rich overnight, it's a fun and educational addition to any collection. It represents a piece of Canadian history and the story of how the country moved away from the smallest denomination. Plus, some high-grade examples, those that are uncirculated or proof-like, can fetch a few dollars among collectors who want the cleanest possible specimens. And that wraps up our deep dive into the 1999 Canadian 1-cent coin. If you love learning about the hidden treasures in your change and want to discover which coins are worth big money, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Each week, we explore fascinating coins from around the world, their history, design, and collector value. Drop a comment below and tell us if you found a 1999 penny in your collection or what rare coin you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.